the land of the midnight sun. That is the world's nickname for Norway. During the summer, between May and July, the sun will continue to shine for 24 hours in Norway. So during this period, Norway does not experience night. Because of this, Norway is also nicknamed the land without night. Do we know that Islam has now become the second largest religion in this country? Despite the atmosphere of Islamophobia, which is often associated with radicalism by anti-Islam groups, the development of Islam in Norway continues. The number of Muslims in this country has increased from year to year. The Muslim community in Norway also continues to adapt and develop in the midst of Norwegian society, which is known for its tolerant and open attitude towards religious diversity. Norway is indeed one of the most unique countries in the world. The country located in Northern Europe is known as the land of the midnight sun, because from May to the end of July, the sun never sets. In this country, Islamophobia is not uncommon. Norway is one of the countries with a fairly high level of Islamophobia. Acts of blasphemy against Islam, such as burning the Quran and insulting the Prophet Muhammad, often occur in this country. The head of Islamization of Norway once stated that Islam is very difficult to accept in Norway. In fact, there is a desire to destroy all the Qur'ans in the country. One of the events that sparked anger among Muslims around the world occurred in a small town in Norway in 2019. The town is called Kristiansand. A group of people in the town committed an Islamophobic act that was considered excessive. They tried to burn the Quran in the middle of the town, which then sparked anger among Muslims. Not only Muslims in the country, but also Muslims from all over the world were angry because one of the masses came forward and burned the Quran in his hand. Luckily, there was a young man of Palestinian descent who climbed the police barricade and attacked the man who burned the Quran. Then, the police scattered to separate the incident. The police also used fire extinguishers to extinguish the fire that burned the Quran. This incident sparked protests from Muslims in various countries. In addition, Norway revealed that job applicants with Muslim names receive 25% fewer job calls than those of other religions. The statement shows that the level of discrimination against Muslims in Norway is very concerning. However, despite all that, slowly but surely, Islam is now the second largest religion there. The number of Muslims, which was initially only around 1,000 adherents, is now more than 250,000 people in Norway who have embraced Islam. This number means around 5% of the total population of Norway. Dear Kazana viewers, the daily life of Muslims in Norway is more or less the same as in Muslim-majority countries. Wearing the hijab in public places in Norway is still allowed. Muslims are free to wear the hijab, whether on the street, at work, or in public institutions. This is part of the freedom of religion guaranteed by Norwegian law. However, it is important to note that there are specific regulations regarding clothing. The Norwegian government has passed a law banning the use of full face coverings, such as the niqab in educational institutions and some public places. Despite this, Muslims in Norway are still trying to maintain their cultural identity while adapting to life in a country with a non-Muslim majority. Christians as a whole, despite challenges, Muslims in Norway have created a strong community and contribute positively to the wider society. They also hold events such as Open Mosque Day, which invites non-Muslims to come to the mosque and socialize. This is part of an effort to broaden interfaith understanding. The Muslim community in Norway is also involved in various social and educational activities, such as conducting programs that promote a better understanding of Islam among the general public. The majority of Muslims in Norway are Sunni. The community is made up of various ethnic. There are various Islamic organizations in Norway, such as mosques and Muslim community organizations, which focus on youth empowerment and interfaith dialogue. One of the famous mosques is the Islamic Cultural Center Norway. This Oslo-based mosque will be more active when the holy month of Ramadan arrives. In addition to being a place of worship, this mosque also holds various activities, such as Quran recitation, religious studies, and other public services. During Ramadan, this mosque is often the center of Muslim community activities, including announcements of sahur and iftar times, as well as various social programs and charity activities. The duration of fasting in Norway varies, depending on the season and location. In summer, in some parts of Norway, fasting time can reach around 20 hours due to the midnight sun phenomenon, where the sun does not really set. Conversely, in winter, fasting can be much shorter, perhaps only around 5 to 6 hours. To overcome this extreme duration, Muslims in Norway often follow the Mecca fasting times or the fasting times recommended by the local Muslim community. Muslim children in Norway walk to school in the morning, dressed all in black. In the background, the sky remains bright, even though it is almost midnight. When Ramadan comes, Muslims in Norway face not only weather challenges, but also social challenges. In a country where the majority of the population is non-Muslim, fasting amidst the daily hustle and bustle and time difference is a test in itself. However, they still go through Ramadan with a sense of togetherness and deep faith. A Muslim family is preparing for sahur as the clock strikes 2 a.m. They eat together, even as the sun begins to rise on the eastern horizon. For Muslims in Norway, the times for sahur and iftar are very flexible. They have to adjust to the changing times of sunrise and sunset, which is not always easy. In some areas, such as Tromsø in the north, the sun never really sets during the summer, so the times for sahur and iftar can feel very unusual. An imam leads a group prayer at a small mosque in a rural area. The congregation looks very solemn and full of enthusiasm, despite the unique natural conditions that challenge them. But despite all the challenges, Muslims in Norway have shown an incredible sense of community. Muslim communities have come together to provide support, share information, and organize social events that strengthen bonds. Mosques and Islamic centers have become important places for them to gather, encourage each other, and share their experiences of performing their religious duties amidst this unique natural phenomenon. Worshippers break their fast at the mosque with a special Ramadan menu, such as dates and water, then continue eating with their families at home. Muslims in Norway have found some creative solutions to this challenge. For example, some mosques follow a more standard fasting schedule based on other cities further south, or they hold special religious classes to provide guidance on appropriate prayer times. A Muslim mother teaches her child to be grateful for the opportunity to fast. The child bows his head and smiles. For Muslims in Norway, Ramadan is more than just fasting. It is a time to deepen their faith, mend their relationship with Allah, and maintain patience and gratitude in every step. They learn that faith is not just about facing physical reality, but also about persevering and giving their best even when things don't always go as they hoped. A still bright night scene with a mosque illuminated and Muslim families gathered outside their homes to pray together. Ramadan in Norway teaches Muslims that even in a land without night, they can find spiritual depth in every second they live. Their lives amidst the challenges of this unique time are proof that the power of faith can overcome any obstacle, and that community togetherness is a source of invaluable strength. A Muslim family sits together in their yard after Tarawih prayers, enjoying the tranquility of a brightly lit night, even though there is still sunlight in the sky. In this land that never darkens, Muslims in Norway continue to move forward, remaining steadfast in their faith and supporting one another, and finding ways to preserve their traditions and practices. They show that while the world may be different, a heart full of faith will always find a way to do what is best. The beauty of Ramadan in a land without night. Norwegian Muslims, the spirit of faith in the bright sun. The atmosphere of breaking the fast in Norway is unique. Although geographical challenges, such as the long duration of fasting, can be tough, the spirit of togetherness and the Muslim community there are actually stronger. Muslims in Norway often gather at mosques or community centers to break their fast together. This creates a warm sense of togetherness, especially in environments that may not be predominantly Muslim. In some cities, there are also Ramadan bazaars that provide food and necessities during the fasting month. This also serves as an opportunity to socialize and strengthen community ties. After breaking the fast, it is usually followed by a group Maghrib prayer, followed by Isha and Tarawih prayers. Despite the long duration of fasting, Muslims still carry out their worship with great enthusiasm. After Ramadan ends, Norwegian Muslims gather in mosques to perform Eid al-Fitr prayers together. This is an important moment where they meet each other, pray, and strengthen ties. Many Muslim organizations and communities hold special events, such as bazaars, cultural performances and social activities to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. This is an opportunity to get to know each other better and strengthen a sense of solidarity as part of the tradition. Many give zakat and donations to those in need, showing a spirit of caring and togetherness, even though they are far from Muslim-majority countries. Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr are celebrated with joy, togetherness, and a sense of victory. Khazana viewers, that is the life and atmosphere of Ramadan for Norwegian Muslims. That's all for our discussion this time. Hopefully it is useful. See you in the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.